back with another video. Hope I'm having a great Friday. One love to all of you, and we are back with another video on our channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to use the Tuchel formation, the Tuchel formula in real life. As you can see, we're using the 3 at the back, also known as the 5 at the back, 5-2-3, 3-4-3. There's so many variations with this formation, you know, depending on your phase of play. Whether you're defensive, you might turn into a 5-4-1. If you're more offensive, it might turn into a 3-4-3. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to kind of use this formation, because there's a lot of misconceptions with this formation. People think that it's not a good formation because it doesn't give you a lot defensively. I feel like people are just playing the wrong formation. This one right here, you think, oh, you know, it doesn't give me a lot going forward, but this right here gives you a lot, if depending on what you do with your wing backs. Now, if you use your wing backs properly, you can get overloads on these wings, you know, 2v1 situation, you know what I mean? If you've got good link up between your winger Havertz and Hudson-Odoi, just like on the other side with Pulisic and Chilwell, then you'll create overloads and you'll just cause havoc, you know what I mean? So we're going to be talking about the preset formation, then I'm going to be talking about different variations, because I sometimes do switch between both variations between a 5-2-3 and a 5-4-1. So we're going to be talking about different variations. You have to be very careful when switching though, you know what I mean? You don't want to get caught out. You don't want to forget to switch to a defensive when you're defending. So we're going to be talking about that a bit later. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot to talk about, but I'm going to break it down properly because there's a lot of misconceptions. I'm going to repeat myself. There's a lot of misconceptions. This formation, when you use this formation, it takes a lot of concentration because you have to keep everyone in their position when defending. You know what I mean? And this is why these are so deep. Why do you think these are so deep? You can't just defend with these two. You'd get apps if you're playing against one of the best, right, in seasons, and you expect just to defend with these two, you're gonna get dominated. You're gonna get dominated. There's gonna be especially if someone's playing a 3 in the middle and you only got 2, there's an overload right there. You'll finish. You know what I mean? They're gonna pick you apart. But we're not gonna be doing that though. You know what I mean? We're not gonna be playing these two defensively. You know, we're gonna actually have these come back, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a bank of 4 in the middle, because I feel like that's very important. So let's look at the tactics first. Obviously you've seen the formation. Yeah, this is wing back. I have him personally, I have him the 2 wingers, I have them on left wing. I just feel like they drop back on left wing. I don't know if that makes any difference, but yeah, it just makes a difference for me anyway. I feel like they just come back easier, and with the instructions I'll show you how you properly bring them back into position when they're defending. Now, this is important. Make sure, because obviously when you change formation, when you change to a 5-4-1, Kante and Kovacic are right centre mids, and they're not LDM, they're not RDM, they're LCM and RCM, okay? And I feel like when they're RDM and LDM, they give you more defensively. They cover the back line better than they are when they're LCM and RCM. Because normally when they're LCM and RCM, which is left centre mid and right centre mid, they push up too much. They don't really tuck in as much as they do when they're LDM and RDM. So make sure when you change to a 5-4-1, make sure you drop them back like this. You drop them back and you bring them narrow as well. They might be a bit wide, so bring them a bit narrow as well. It just makes a difference. Trust me, all these little things make a difference. Trust me, okay? So that's one important thing I have to clear up for you lot. I don't feel a lot of people do that, do you know what I mean? And that's why they struggle a lot defensively, this formation. And this is arguably the best formation to use defensively. This right here, you believe it or not, is the best formation to use defensively, for me anyway. Now, we've talked about the formations, the player roles and stuff like that. I don't really need to go in depth with the players and stuff. I've done that in my last video, and I feel like I don't need to do that. Let me talk about the instructions now and the tactics. So, balance. As you can see, the width is on 2, right? You need you guys to be narrow. You need them to be narrow in this formation. That's the whole beauty of this formation. When you have a bank of 4 that's narrow, tucked in, you can't break that. There's no, you're limiting the passing lanes. Do you know what I mean? You're cutting them off automatically with having your wingers join the LDM and RDM, so you're sorted there. And all it takes is concentration, really. Do you know what I mean? And you should be alright. But that right there, the two width is important because everyone's in their preset position, as you can see. You know what I mean? So that's important. I have it on 2. You can have it on 3, but I just like it on 2. And then obviously with the depth, you don't want to be too deep. You don't want to invite too much pressure. I have seen it many times where I invite too much pressure, maybe on a 2, and a lot of people actually score. Do you know what I mean? People think the lower you have it, the less goals you're going to concede. I don't think so. You know what I mean? I feel like if you have it around here, 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 you should be alright. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to invite too much pressure on you. I feel like a lot of people do it with the 5 at the back. They overdo it, man. Don't do none of that. Trust me, man. They don't work. Right. So anyway, offensive. Now this is a counter-attacking. This is a counter-attacking formation. So you can do whatever you want. It's flexible like that. But there's a way I play with this. Okay. I'm so excited. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry. So offensive style, right? You have it on balance, right? Now with width, you have it on 3. You're gonna think, why is it on 3? Let me tell you why it's on 3. Let me tell you. Let me read it. Let me read it to you lot. Adjust your offensive team shape to be narrow to have more players in the middle of the pitch. Who are we talking about? These lot are in the middle of the pitch already. We're talking about the wingers in the middle. So this is what's going to happen when you're on the ball. These lot are going to be in here, guys. Havertz is going to be right attacking mid. Pulisic is going to be left attacking mid, yeah? They're going to be making room for these, man. Chilwell to bomb up the line, because think about it, if you've got Pulisic here and Chilwell, what's that? There's no chemistry. Do you know what I mean? Chilwell is gonna, Pulisic is blocking Chilwell's, lane. Do you know what I mean? Everyone occupy a lane. Pulisic is in a lane. Havertz is in a lane. Hudson-Odoi is in a lane. Chilwell is in a lane. This is how you create overloads. You know what I'm saying? Pulisic in between the full back and centre back. And it really depends on what happens with the opposing fullback. If the opposing fullback wants to track Pulisic here and the centre back comes narrow, then it leaves space for Chilwell to run in. If the fullback wants to, mark Chilwell, okay, come and mark Chilwell, then that leaves space for Pulisic to go through and get in behind, isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. Width is so important in football and just on FIFA, because no one is thinking like this. No one is coming up against a formation like this. This is why you're going to get everyone off guard. Do you know what I mean? You just got to understand it though. Once you understand the formation, you'll be sorted. So that's why I've got it on 3, because the wingers come in. Because if you have them on wide, they're going to be wide. If you have it on the width on, 8 or 7, the wingers are going to be too wide, you know what I mean? And you need your wingers to link up with my guy Timo Werner. You need them to all link up and intertwine, these 3. Because if you have these guys wide, Werner's going to be isolated. Who's passing to Werner? Do you know what I mean? You might have a DM that, you know what? You know what I'm trying to say in it. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to make this video too long for you lot. Do you know what I mean? So that's the reason for it anyway. Now moving forward. So we have this on 3. You can have it on 4, 3, whatever. I have the player in box on 5 or 4. It really depends. Maybe on 4 actually. This is a very defensive formation. I'm very defensive. I don't really keep the ball a lot with this formation, but yeah. Anyway, now instructions with this team. Instructions. So nothing on the centre backs or goalkeeper. You already know me. Hudson-Odoi join the attack. Overlap, that is so important. If you don't have your wingers overlapping, then there's no point playing this formation. I'll be real with you lot. This is the cheat right here. These guys are the cheat, Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi. So make sure they're overlapping, right? These are the most dangerous players in your team, because it's hard to mark these guys. I'll be real with you lot. The opposing wingers have to come back to track these lot, okay? So let's say you're playing against a 4-4-2, and obviously Chilwell's going forward, Hudson-Odoi is going forward. Let's say Chilwell is being marked by Salah, right? Obviously, he's got to track that run. Someone's got to track Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi's run, otherwise they're going to be let loose. You know what I mean? It's going to be overloads. So if opposing wingers are tracking Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi, then it limits counter-attacks, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It limits the counter-attacks. If they don't track the fullbacks, the opposing wingers, then that means that these guys are going to create overloads on the opposing fullback. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it works both ways. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's very important to have these guys join in the attack overlap. Make sure you do that. Don't worry, you'll be fine. With this formation, you won't get caught out on the counter because you have three centre backs. You have three centre backs, guys. That's the whole beauty of this formation. You have three centre backs. Three, not two, three. Do you know what I mean? The problem with playing the four at the back is you only got, if you push your fullbacks in the four at the back with a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, you only got two centre backs. You're in a whole lot of trouble. With this, you got three, and you got the DMs, right? So with the DMs, stay back, cover centre. Simple, simple. Just in case of the counter attack, you've got 5 players forward. That's more than enough. Do you know what I mean? You've got this man going forward, this man going forward, this man's forward, this man's forward, and this man's forward. You don't need no more players going forward. I'll be real with you lot. You know what I mean? And a threat from a set piece with Thiago Silva. There you go. So, with these players, actually, is this? Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. That's the preset. My bad. My bad, guys. My bad. Now, with the wingers now, what you want to do is come back. That is so important. If you don't have anyone come back, they'll stay forward, depending on their work rates as well. That's just mandatory, guys. Get in the box for a cross, mandatory. You know what I mean? It really depends. It's up to you. They're gonna be coming in anyway, so you can have them on free roam. You can play to Havertz's strengths, have him on free roam. You can play to Pulisic's strengths, get him behind maybe. Do you know what I mean? It's really up to you. Personally, I just have them on balance, let them do what they have to do. Nothing too much on the wingers. I demand more defensively from these guys than offensively. Do you know what I mean? Werner, get him behind. You play to his strengths. Simple as. You don't have him as a target man. I mean, come on now. So I think that is really it for this preset. I ain't done yet, guys. I am not done yet. I am not finished with this. Okay. So let's say. Right, let's make a scenario now. 80th minute. You're winning by 1 goal, right? It's 85th minute, and your guy is literally better than you. He's outplayed you throughout the whole game. You got a lucky goal from a corner. You need to park the bus, right? I got you. So you switch your D-pad now. Now you switch your D-pad, and you're trying to play defense, trying to park the bus. This is what you do. This is the formation, right? This is what you do. Instead of these not being wing backs, you have them left back, right? Left back, right back. Okay, these are not right wing back. He's not a right wing back no more. He's a right back now. Kai Havertz is more tucked in, just like Pulisic. These two are still RDM, LDM, and then you got not Havertz. Sorry, you got Werner, right? Werner is now a centre forward, not a striker. He's actually going to be helping you out, and he's actually very important in the defensive phase. Do you know what I mean? Because when you don't have Werner defending or coming back, you have to be disciplined with these guys. You cannot draw these guys forward in the midfield. You cannot be doing that. Leave space around here. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's important because Werner can do all this. He can break up all the play, he can press and all that. Meanwhile, these guys can stay back. But maybe with the preset, it's not like that. Sometimes you might have to press the midfield with these guys. It leaves a couple of space in behind, you know what I mean, for opposing players to, exploit. So that's the reason why I have Werner here, right, in the centre forward role, and have him on come back. But I also have this guy getting behind because we're going to be playing counter attack as well. You do need a goal sometimes when you're parking the bus just to relieve that pressure. Now, stay back. Havertz, come back, get him behind, and have him stay on the edge of the box. I don't want him to get in a box. I don't know. I just don't want him to get in the box. When we're trying to park the bus, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to just try and get you on the break, trying to get in behind the defense. If they can't get in the box, then come back in position. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So stay on the edge. It's just easy for them to come back on transition. That's what I'm trying to say. Kovacic stay back, cover centre, Kante cover centre, stay back. I haven't touched the centre backs, by the way, or the goalkeeper. Werner, come back and get him behind. So essentially what we're trying to do is get them on a break. Instead of it being balanced like we did on the preset formation, we've now got on drop back. Okay, this is what I'm saying. We're defending for our lives now. So I think the best thing to do is drop back. 2, 3, so 2 width, 3 depth, long ball, fast build up. It really depends. Like, you tinker between which one you prefer. For a counter, fast build up does make sense. Also, a long ball does make sense, but maybe a fast build up would be good. And instead of them, let me slow down a bit. My bad, guys. Now with the width, I'm so excited. My bad. Cool. So now with the width, okay. Instead of it being 3 like it was on the preset, or 4, now it's very wide. As you can see, it's on like 7, 8. And the reason why I have it on wide is because your fullbacks now are not providing no width. They're not providing the width now. It's going to be your wingers. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they're trying to get in behind to get a counter attack going. So that's the reason why it's so high. Because your wing backs are going to be staying back. You know what I mean? They're not getting forward. So you're going to have about 3 man going forward in this formation. And that's pretty much it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's pretty much all I use for the defensive variation. Now we're going to the attacking variation. Now, the roles are flipped now. Okay, remember the last scenario I used for the defensive variation? I was talking about keeping the lead. Now, we're in the other player's shoes now. We're trying to score to equalise and potentially win the game now in the 85th minute. So what we're going to try and do now, we're going to go to attacking variation. Throw all your eggs in the basket. So this is what we're doing. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Basically, for me, this is a 3, 2, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 in here, and 3. There you go. So that's the formation to use for attacking variation. Okay. Now, this is what I do. Let me show you now. So Pulisic is a left attacking mid. Havertz is a right attacking mid. Kante is a right centre mid. Okay, remember that. Kante is a right centre mid. Kovacic is an LDM. Now the reason why I have Kovacic LDM is because he's better on the ball than Kante. He can build up. He can actually start an attack. Do you know what I mean? From the defence and progress it from to the not opposing players, but the offensive players. You know what I mean? Kante's not really that man to do that. Do you know what I mean? So he's kind of not a regista, but he's a deep line playmaker now. Cover. Kante can actually go forward, as you can see with the stats. It's not bad. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I have Kovacic so deep there. Kante is going to be providing support to Havertz and all these lot going forward. Yep, as you can see, Hudson-Odoi is no longer a right wing back. He's a right winger now. Chilwell is also a left winger. So they're not left back now. They're not left wing. They are left. No, not left back, or they're not left wing back. They are left wingers and they are right wingers now. Do you know what I mean? Pulisic, I've already explained that. Now with the tactics, press after lost possession. Obviously, you're trying to get a goal, so you're trying to press your players. The width, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had to count that one real quick. Width is on 6. Depth is on 8, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8. Play on possession. You want to keep the ball. You don't want to rush it. Obviously, you want to keep your composure. Try and pick out any players that are making runs. You just want to take your time. When you're trying to get a goal. A lot of people rush it and stuff. You know what I mean? So possession or balance is really up to you. Width, that's what I have it on there. Players in the box. You want to have as much players in the box as possible. You're trying to get a goal. This is when you're throwing all the eggs in the basket. I wouldn't advise you to play this normally because you would get exploited. But this is when you're trying to chase a goal. Yep, this is pretty much personal preference, corners and free kicks. Instructions now. Video's almost done. Bear with me, guys. So Chilwell, come back, stay wide. Hudson-Odoi, come back, stay wide. Pulisic, Pulisic, come back, free roam. Same with Havertz. Kante, stay back while attacking. Actually, no. Kante is going to be balanced attack and stay on the edge of the box for a cross. So he's not actually getting in the box. He's just staying on the edge, which is good because he can come back for a counter, maybe. But yeah, he'll be covering centre as well. Cover is going to be staying back, covering for Kante in the back line. He'll be covering centre as well. Werner getting behind, and I've not touched the centre backs. I never touch these guys. You know what I mean? Maybe in real life you see Aspie going forward at times, but you can't do that in this game. I'm sorry, unless you have to change the formation completely, and I don't advise you to do none of that in game. Now that is it. I'm done. I am done. That is the Tuchel way, in depth. I've literally gave you that in depth. Yeah, honestly, that is the Tuchel way, explained. Right, on this game, how to use it on game, right? I know this is not normally the team that they use in real life. They have Jovetic at times. They have Jorginho in here with Kovacic. They call it Jovetic, isn't it? I think it's Jovetic or whatever. But yeah, Marcus Alonso as well. I don't advise you to play none of these players. I don't advise you to play Jorginho over Kante. Are you crazy? Neither would I play him over Cover. And I would never play Marcus Alonso. Potentially, you could play Zuma in here over Reece James or even Thiago Silva. A lot of people do struggle with Thiago Silva. I think he's a beast. I think he reads the game well. The reason why people struggle with him is probably because of pace. Depending on who he's playing against. Playing against Mbappe, you could struggle. Playing against someone like, let's see, Lewandowski, you might be alright. Do you know what I mean? So it really depends on who you're playing against. Thiago Silva, overall decent player. Hudson-Odoi, obviously something different to Reece James. I think he's a bit more technical. He's better on the ball. Players to avoid: Tammy Abraham. Please avoid this guy. I think he's terrible. Avoid. I wouldn't avoid Jorginho. That's pretty much all the players I'd avoid. I think Mount's okay. He's not great. Do you know what I mean? Avoid Abraham and Alonso. They're the players to avoid. Make sure you avoid these players, man. Don't ever use these players. The best players to use on this team: Werner, Rudiger, Kante, obviously, and Kai Havertz, depending on how you use them. Do you know what I mean? Ziyech is okay, but I prefer Ziyech in the camera. I just don't think this formation on this game complements his ability. Do you know what I mean? Now, weaknesses with this team. Advantages, disadvantages. Advantage with this formation is, let me try and think now. Advantages with this formation is you're always going to have a numerical advantage at the back. We have to remember that now. You got your goalkeeper, you got Thiago Silva, Zuma, and Rudiger, right? So you're always going to have a numerical advantage. And what I'm trying to say is you're going to play from the back with this formation. There's no point in hoofing the ball to Werner because he's like 5'9". He's basically like, he's small. He's small. He ain't gonna win nothing in the air, right? So build up from the back. You've got decent ball playing centre backs, especially if you put Reece James in there as well. Decent on the ball. Rudiger's quick. Reece James is quick. Very good passes of the ball as well. So you should be alright building from the back. Pace wise, good. You can play counter-attacking formation with this team. You can also play a possession-based football with this team. So that's the advantages for this team. The disadvantages is, I don't even know if there's a clear-cut disadvantage. Maybe defensively with your wing backs. I don't think they're the quickest guys. I'll be real with you lot. They're not the quickest guys, and they can get exploited at times. Okay, they can get exploited. So just be wary of that. Do you know what I mean? Just be wary of that. Maybe you want to play Pulisic here and have maybe Ziyech around here. Maybe you want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Just to limit, you know, the people getting in behind. Maybe Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi. You might want to switch it up or whatnot. That's the only problem I feel like. Pace on counter-attacks. That's probably the reason why I concede a couple goals with these lot. And the most of the goals I concede is through counter-attacks. So, yeah, man, I ain't going to keep you guys waiting here too long. Very different to Barcelona and Man City. They're a bit more defensive. That's their qualities. They're good in shape. They have very good work rates as well, so use that to your advantage as well. That's pretty much the end of the video. You can keep a lot of clean sheets with these lot. Yes, you can. Okay, you can. All right. I know I'm a big fan of clean sheets and that. So yeah, if you're a defensive fan like me, then you'll be alright, man. Trust me. If you like to be flexible with your formations, you can switch to a 3-5-2 as well. And I'll be talking about that in the next video. Actually, I'll make a 3-5-2 in different variations and how to use it. But anyway, man, that's the end of the video. One love to all of you. Like I always say, have fun. Do you know what I mean? If you struggle, let me know in the comments and I'll try and fix it in some way. I might find another variation for this formation. We'll see. We'll see, man. But anyway, man, take care of yourself. Enjoy. Have a great Friday. One love. Peace. Subscribe. Like. Take care.